Hi everyone, today's tutorial is going to be about transforming an oversized men's shirt. And the first thing would be to take out the collar, the placket, and the sleeves. So the collar, the sleeves, and the placket have all been taken out. The next thing would be to make the V neckline more pronounced. So I'll come out 1/2 inch at the top, 4 inches in the middle on both sides, and then 1/2 inch at the very top. And then I'm going to connect the 1/2 inch mark to the 4 inch mark all the way around, just like this. So once we're done connecting the lines together, I'm going to turn this way. So I'll hold it together and then I'm going to turn it just like this, making sure that the shoulders are well placed together. So I'm going to pin this down and then pin all the sides together before I'm able to cut out the neckline. So we are trying to create the neckline for the ruffles. So once this is cut out, the next thing to do would be to turn the top inside out, right sides facing right side, and then I'm going to pin this down together just like this before running a straight stitch all the way around. So I'm just going to do this on my sewing machine and then I'll show you what it looks like. So here is what it looks like. The next thing would be to cut out the sleeves. So I want puffy sleeves, and they are going to be 7 inches long because we don't have adequate fabric, so we have to manage what we have. So I'm just going to cut out the first sleeve and I would use that to cut out the next piece. So we need to create the ruffle for the neckline. So the next thing for me to do will be to cut out the cuffs. So I'll cut out the cuffs for both sleeves, and then I'll open it up to be able to have more room. So once this is cut out, I would fold this back and I would make sure that the folded end is where I begin my ruffles. But before doing this, we need to quickly take the measurement of the neckline. So we need to measure out what the neckline is. So I have 29 inches and my ruffles should be 29 inches multiplied by 1.5. So that should be the length of my ruffles. And I want it 3 inches wide. Actually, it's going to be 2.5 inches wide and then 1/2 inch for seam allowance. So I'll cut this out and I'm going to use this to cut out the other piece. So this is what the first piece looks like. So from the other sleeve, I would also cut out the next piece. Then I'm going to join them together with a straight stitch to form a very long piece for the ruffle. So here is what it looks like. The next thing to do would be to run a basting stitch at the top all the way around. So for the bottom part, we would have to hem the bottom all the way around. So what I did was I folded this 1 centimeter down and then I ironed it to make it easier for me to hem. So I'm just going to do that all the way around before going to hem this together. So by the time I'm done, I'm going to have to add the ruffles to the neckline. So this is what the ruffles looks like. I ran a basting stitch and I'm trying to straighten this up so that it's all evens up and then it gets to the back as well. So I'll pin this down right in the middle. And I'll keep straightening up the ruffles to make sure it gets to the back. And then I'll pin it down all the way around. So this is where it ends. I'm just going to run a straight stitch to connect that together. And then I would also run a straight stitch to connect all of the ruffles together. So here is what it looks like. The next thing would be to create the bias tape to cover the rough ends of the ruffle. So I'll show you what I'm going to do next. I'm going to create bias tape to enable me cover the rough ends of the ruffle we just created. So I'm going to mark 2 inches and then I'll cut that out as my bias, and then I would use that to cut out other pieces as well. So I'm going to join them all together, and then I should have a long bias tape by the time they are all joined together. So I have my long bias tape already. And then I'm going to pin this down to my ruffle or the neckline, right sides facing right side. I'm just going to do that all the way around. And then I'll take this to my sewing machine to join all together. So we should actually have something like this. So I'll fold it in just like this to have a clean finish. So here is what it looks like. We now have a clean finish on the neckline. The next thing would be to turn this inside out because I need to cut out some parts. The shirt is really oversized and I would have to cut out some part. So I'm just going to mark 3 inches in just like this. And then I'm going to make the armhole 9 inches long. The shirt is really oversized, so you need to fix the armhole and the bodies. So I'll come in 3 inches and I'll slant my way all the way down and cut this out. And I'm also going to do the same for the other end as well. And then I'll run a straight stitch to join this back together again. So this is what it looks like. And then I hemmed the bottom part as well. So the next thing to do would be to fix the sleeves. So for the upper part of the sleeves, I ran a basting stitch to have the puffiness all together in the middle. So I want the top part of the sleeves to have puffs. So I'm just going to join the sleeve. Then I'll do the same for the other sleeve as well. And by the time you're done, you'd have to hem the bottom part of the sleeves as well as add elastic band. So before fixing the sleeves, I had to come in at the shoulder by 1 inch on both sides. And then I cut that out. And by the time you fix the sleeves, you should be done. And I'm just going to show you what it looks like.